Coffee clap.
Oh, wow. Wow, the realm of coffee.
Brickmaniacs, welcome back to a special Designer Desk edition of Brickmania TV.
Right,
I'm Slam, this is Dan.
right. We are in instruction book mode right now. We've been working on the Ukrainian Heroes of Ukraine book, but we wanted, before we get that finished, we were interrupting our instruction making for a recap of the last book. We never did it.
This book project we pushed. It came out a little bit late. We worked on it solidly for a month and a half. Came out a little bit late, and now we have everything we need.
Right.
The book is printed. We've been shipping them for a while.
Yeah, it's been out for a while.
We have individual kits built of everything.
Yep.
So we have the full recap of Bricks in the Sand.
We assembled this display. This is actually, you can come and see all of these models on display at the GHQ store. Mm-hmm. This is the first time that they've all been assembled in one place, other than I test built, I think, every one of them down in Florida at my winter studio, I guess we could call it.
Yes, Florida Dan's place.
Yeah. Florida Dan, test built every model. Yeah, but yeah, here it is. Here's everything. This will be on display at GHQ store, but we wanted to give a recap because this is the first time we've had them all together with proper cameras, proper lighting, and
properly placed stickers. They're complete. All the brick arms, everything.
Yeah, so Slam and I, behind the scenes, and Chelsea, who's kind of camera shy, didn't want to be on. The three of us really put this book together, and this is our book team. I mean, of course, we're backed up by the entire might and force of the Brickmania coalition, but
yes, there's a lot more that goes into a book than just you and me. It takes a team.
Right.
It takes a team. Yeah.
So.
But it's a great book, and our instruction books are just a terrific value for your money.
Yeah, absolutely. Right? You're getting 10 cents of instructions for $60, and that's like what, $6 a piece for the instruction books,
right?
Or instruction sets.
I mean, and look at what all you can build from it. It's like every book is on a theme. So this is the Second Gulf War, specifically Bricks and Sand Part 2. This would
be the Operation Iraqi Freedom version of Bricks in the Sand. Right. So everything here was participated in that. We have 5 coalition and then 5 Iraqi models,
which is exactly what you need to build an awesome mock, like massive, battle-ready mock. But there's some great vehicles. They're just especially the coalition ones. We all know and love them because these are our guys, right?
And people have been waiting for this book for a long time. We did put book printing on hold. Especially during COVID. I mean, we did book after book after book, and then all of a sudden COVID hit, and they were like, okay, digital, because it was harder for us to get into the warehouse to do the books, and it's taken us a little while to get back into the rhythm of things. We're finding that as we work on the second book, like it's not as easy as it sounds.
It's a ton of work.
It is.
Yep.
So,
but it's done, and they've been selling really well. We think people are happy with them.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So let's walk through kit by kit and see what comes in this book.
Sure. So these are models. Typically, a book is models of Brickmania that have been discontinued. Mm-hmm. In this case, some of these never actually appeared in the right colors. Example being here, the Challenger tank. This is an older Brickmania model. It was only available in gray and black, so it was, which would have been green and black, ported into.
Which is traditional for a British tank, but when they show up in the desert, they get the tan paint job. And
so this is a modified version of our previous Challenger 2 kit, desertified. And one thing that's different, particularly on this, is these side skirts. So in the desert version, they did put these sand skirts on the sides to keep down the sand kicked up in the desert and keep down
the billow.
Yeah.
So
that's this. We've never offered this as a kit. This is I guess it's a modified Brickmania kit made for the desert version of it. Out of production, long out of production kit. Cody made this back in the day, and it's modified now, available only in the book.
So. Awesome. And it comes with stickers. I did some new stickers for this because it wasn't ever made before. Right. Usually the stickers that come in the kit are just redos of our printed parts or whatever stickers came with it. With this one, I added a couple of extras, like squadron logos and numbers.
Right. So this is actually historically correct for the period that we're covering. And that holds true for all of these. So many of these never appeared before in desert versions. So, or in this particular configuration. So here's a perfect example right here. Never before, but that also goes along all of these models here. You'll see a lot of unique things that were never done in the original kits. So
Cool. Next in the lineup.
M109 Paladin. So unlike the Challenger here, this is not an older kit. This is actually never, the only version of this that we released in this particular configuration is recently.
Yeah, like 6 months ago.
Yeah, technically this kit is still in production in the NATO camouflage version. But you have a sand colored desert, it's Iraqi freedom version of the M109 to our modern standards. So
Super cool.
Yep.
Beautiful kit, has tons of play functions on it, like the basket swing and you've got the muzzle rest up.
Yep. There's
The travel lock.
Travel. Yep. You don't want to go over too many obstacles with your gun flailing wildly because it's going to damage something.
Especially one that size.
Right. Yeah. It's a cool little model. Like as you'd expect, it does all the fun Paladin things. I mean, there's a whole video on this thing already out there, just different colors. So we won't get too far into details. Whoops. So.
We should point out that to complete a model to Brickmania standards, you will need some extras beyond what's in the book. Like you need track links,
Yes.
brick arms, and 3D printed.
This one has
cans.
a muzzle brake.
Oh, and a muzzle brake.
And yep, the fuel cans, the jerry cans on the side. You'll have to have 5, and that's all available at brickmania.com.
Yep, we do our best to keep those in stock all the time, so you can complete what you set out to complete.
Right. I believe last week somebody was asking, hey, the M109 muzzle brakes are sold out. We just happen to be in between batches. They always be restocked. Anything that's in a book, once we put in a book or instructions, we do our best, do our diligence to get it in there. Some of the colors, some of the Brick Arms monopods and U-clips, they're a little bit harder for us to get in these unusual colors. So they come and they go, and that's also because they're actually third party. We can't control the production of those. We can get them when we can get them. When we can't, we just have to wait until the next batch is produced. So we do our best.
Next kit.
M1 A2 Abrams. Nice. So this is another older one. This is like, I think, 3 Abrams ago as far as our kits go.
Yeah.
But it was never released as part of one of our instruction books. I believe digital instructions were made for this one. Older model, still just a classic. I guess you would call, considering what we call classics now, this would be a Brickmania classic. It's before we went heavy into the UV printing and before we had the capabilities, really.
Right.
So
Comes with that awesome cooler in the back, the stud light.
the stud light, yeah, the famous stud light cooler from the back of the deck here. Has semi-functional suspension, as all the tanks do whenever we can, whenever it makes sense to put them in there. So
It's a great model, classic. It's the main battle tank.
yes,
You need a bunch of those.
yeah, and it's now that you have the instructions, you just build and build and build.
Yep. This guy's cool. This is the Wimmick. WMIK. It's essentially a Range Rover, right?
It is a Range Rover Wolf, I think is the vehicle way down at the base of this. So it's a weapons installation kit. That's weapons mount installation kit. That's WMIK, the acronym. It's basically a roll cage and a modification kit to turn a standard Land Rover Wolf into, which is a militarized. It's not something you can just buy at the store. It's actually a military grade vehicle that they have this installation kit that you can mount all these external roll bars, all the hardware that you would need to do patrols in the desert.
Yeah.
So
the IR identification panels on the side.
Yeah.
Yes.
It had even a stove, a little portable stove, and a teapot because it is British. So.
This was a kit we released right after I came on board with Brickmania. So
it's an older one, yes, for sure.
But super classic, super cool.
It's as old as the actual thing almost. So it dates back.
But God bless the British for taking their indestructible Range Rovers and just keep running out into war with them.
Since World War II, since the Land Rover was invented.
Commandos need Land Rovers, so that's cool. Great little kit. This little gun on front here is new.
It is. This is a ZPU 23, so it's a twin barrel gun. I think you might, if you're paying much attention to what we did during a couple of years ago, Andrea put this on the back of a technical, a Syrian
it's
technical.
that one. Yeah. Okay.
So we're like, well, this is perfect for the Iraqi freedom because this is one of the most widely produced Soviet era anti-aircraft guns. It's
just everywhere.
yeah, it's like a twin 20 millimeter cannon or 25 millimeter cannon.
Oh no, where'd this wheel come from?
It's from there.
Okay.
So when you're not towing it behind a vehicle, the wheels go, when you pop the wheels off. When you're towing it, you have to put the wheels back on. In order for it to lay on the tripod, sit on the tripod correctly, you knock the wheels off. So it keeps it from like rolling away while you're firing the gun too.
What do they call it? Rocket jumping? Yes.
Yeah.
Keeps from rocket jumping. Okay.
So
This is a Kiowa Warrior.
Kiowa
I
Warrior.
recognize it.
Yep, this is actually not made from the instruction book because all that's in the instruction book is the kit with minus the printed parts. So we just grabbed the actual model out of GHQ.
So this is our original kit that shows up in the book.
Yes, there's nothing different. The only difference is if you're making it from the book, you have to apply the stickers, which comes in the book. I have the book here actually. And
Oh no.
Sorry, I want to step on my glasses. This is the book. This is what you get. You get this fancy instructions or sticker sheet that comes with the book. These are nice quality vinyl stickers, I should point out. But you do have all the stickers to make that exactly the same way that the book was done back in the day.
Yep. It's got stickers for each of these printed parts along the side, all the sensor pods, flares, and whatnot.
It's noticing some stuff out of place here. Yeah, it just means I need to get into the store and.
It's a great looking helicopter. I absolutely love it.
Yeah, it's a fun little kit. These were shortly after the war on terror. I guess these were all phased out, and they've been replaced with the Apache for scout helicopter.
Really, they're making Apache do scout work now.
Yeah, so it's a armed. I mean, this is the same thing. It's armored, armed. I think they wanted to just have one helicopter. So they say.
Simplified lineup.
Yeah.
Okay.
It seems an awfully, a trade-off like this gigantic attack helicopter versus this little tiny observation helicopter that may be harder to spot, harder to see. I don't know. But, I'm not in the Army and I don't make those decisions. Way over my head.
Out of our pay grade. And then we get into the opposition forces.
Right. So the ZPU technically was the opposition.
Oh,
forces.
that's true. Yes.
So we're a little out of order. But for the main part, we're going to go down the line of tanks and whatnot here.
So here we've got our Iraqi main battle tank, the Lion of Babylon.
Yes, it's a T-72. The Iraqis tried to domestically produce their own T-72s based on Russian kits, and they ended up just, instead of making their own tanks, they made a whole line of up-armored vehicles. If you know anything about the way that the Soviet Union and Russia works, they keep the best stuff for themselves, export the lesser quality stuff. So that's what it was. I mean, it's basically a T-72, one of the most feared tanks in the Soviet arsenal, but an export version, so it's not quite as heavily armored, not quite as capable. Still has that great gun on it, though.
Yeah.
So
it's a beautiful looking kit. Love the turret sloping. It's cool. Yeah. And this is the first time I've done these stickers or those prints in tan. Like almost always show up in dark gray.
Right. Yeah. We've never done this in tan, have we?
Correct.
So you'll if you want to build a tan T-72, this is the way to do it. It is, in spite of it being the Lion of Babylon, it is exactly the same way a Russian built T-72 would look on the exterior.
Yep.
So
super cool. This guy is a little bit unusual looking. This is amphibious, right?
PT-76, it actually, when we put it out as a kit, originally it was part of our Vietnam War lineup.
Really?
So we've done this before. You may recognize it. It was gray when it originally came out. So this is a tan version of something that was never done in these colors before. So
interesting.
So this is a Mary Wilson kit. Originally, and we've decided to bring it out, and it's because we to put it in the book because it's such a I guess iconic. It's part of every like Soviet supplied military has these amphibious tanks, and a swimming tank that has a giant 76 millimeter gun on top is pretty good. Basically a 3-inch cannon on top of that thing. So it not only swims, it can shoot and swim at the same time. So yeah,
great little vehicle.
Yep.
Yeah. BTR,
BMP.
BMP.
BMP tracked.
2.
BMP 2.
Okay.
So another Mary Wilson, former kid, in fact. So this is the BMP 2. We originally released this as part of our Ukraine benefit lineup, a Ukrainian version of it.
Right.
But another post, Soviet Union or Soviet Union holdover. BMP being a tracked armored personnel carrier. It's kind of like it's actually more of an infantry fighting vehicle.
Yeah, I would say so too.
So it's not necessarily a personnel carrier. I mean, that's what it's designed to do, but the infantry can fight from this vehicle.
Yeah, it's like the Soviet equivalent of a Bradley.
Yes.
Yeah.
Except lower to the ground, smaller. Typical Soviet doctrine: make it small, light, cheap, and
In vast numbers.
Yes. So.
And the final one, this was also something that we saw in the Ukraine lineup, correct?
Well, the Ukrainians had their own version. This is a BTR 80.
Okay.
They have a BTR, I believe it's like the BTR 4 or something like that. This is the typical 8-wheeled. This one is an armored personnel carrier. It's an 8-wheeled Soviet armored personnel carrier. It has steering both sets of those front wheels do turn. I think if you turn the spotlight, it'll turn the wheels too.
Oh, look at that. That's a cool bit of functionality.
Yeah. So that's armored personnel carrier. The backup, the top opens up. Yeah, I think you have to take the turret off this. Here, you do this. I was looking at this. So this is my original vehicle, but Andrea updated this to modern standards.
Oh, so it's got a
he
full...
put the turret on. Mine originally had a different turret. Yeah.
So you've got your compartment in there. You can load it up with minifigs.
Yeah. Oh yeah. It's got lots of play functions. So your BTR 80.
That's cool.
In Iraqi service. These are fun models to make. And you had to go through, obviously when we make a book like this, we have to test build. So one of the reasons it takes us so long to get these books out is that we actually have to, we're just not taking the instructions out of kits, we're actually remaking all the instructions from scratch. A lot of these are completely modified because they were never done in these original colors. I think these three might be the only of this lineup that were actually just reissues.
Okay.
Everything else is, so 7 out of the 10 are completely modified.
And never appeared in this form as kits.
No, and all of them are redone for the book here. So they all had to be test built, had to be, go through the whole thing. Instructions are updated, parts lists are updated. It's just something we have to do. So people are asking, does it have a digital
parts list?
No. The answer is no, and not yet. Hopefully we'll be able to get that as a separate something. Maybe we'll make it as a download later on. It takes a lot of work to do that as well. So working on that, and of course, Lego and Bricklink decide to change their parts designations all the time. So once we think we have something the way it should be, we get a wrench thrown into that whole mix. And
right. So we're currently looking into our entire back catalog of digital instructions and digital.
Yep.
We have a lot of work ahead of us. So on top of the regular kit releases we do week after week.
Right. So that's something. I mean, we're not exactly an instructions company. It's kind of a bonus on top of what we do. So as of normal, each book has a foreword, has information on where suggestions of about parts, where to get the parts, some brick arms, things like that, explanations. Each model also has a visual parts list. It shows you exactly what each piece looks like, how many are in there. And if you want a text parts list, by golly, there's one in the back. We give you text. You like text? We give you, if you're like one of those information junkies that wants all the numbers, the exact everything, it's in the back. There's an appendix that has all that information in the back. You can scan that into a wants list to make for Bricklink, for example.
Scan it, OCR it.
Yep.
Oh, it seems like a lot of work, but yes, it can be done.
Well, all you need is the numbers. That's the beauty of the digital age. You don't need this whole description. All you need is that number, the part number and the quantity and the color.
Yep.
So
that's it.
Yeah.
Other things to note about our books: spiral binding, so it can lay flat.
So when you're
even with as thick of a book as it is, it always sits flat.
Yeah, you want to be able to build with one hand, turn the page with the other.
And the covers are super durable. We don't use just a cardboard cover. We use a plastic.
The old books had a cardboard cover, and eventually a lot of picking it up by the covers would tear the cover off. So now we use a plastic cover, which means your book will last forever.
It's not indestructible, but it's going to hold up really well.
The pages on the inside will fall out long before this would, and I guarantee if you just use this everyday use, it's not going to come apart. But they're heavy. This is like a 2-pound book. It's not a light thing. The sticker sheet is vinyl, so we should give you an idea. You could rip the stickers if you want, but they are very forgivable. This is the kind of vinyl that you would do like a car wrap with. The only thing that we didn't do, like back in the old days, we would actually put a laminate layer over the stickers, which would make them much more permanent, but also made them really clunky.
Yeah, it thickens them up almost too much.
So if you're familiar with our stickers from the the squad packs or anything or any kits, it's the same material. It's very forgivable. People have this misconception that the stickers, like, once I put them on and they're screwed up, and
like in that initial placement, you can pick them up and put them back down a few times before they start to show wear.
Right.
Yep.
And they're very good quality stickers. I'm sold on our sticker capabilities. It's the one thing. In fact, I just ran into the printer guys in the hallway on the way over here. So seeing high praise to our sticker printing.
So it's a great value. We sell a ton of these books when we go out on tour, like in our road stores.
Absolutely.
If you have young ones, this is a great way to get them into military building. Like, here, have a book, explore what it takes to build a tank.
Young ones, young ones get into military building. Yeah. I hadn't considered that before.
Yeah, the kids.
Yeah,
the kids.
The books are for the kids. The kids, usually the kids that come and buy the books are gray-haired old kids, but
Yeah, that too. Also, if you happen to be, anyways, I've said some words.
Kids of all ages are into these books.
Yeah.
So, but we do sell a lot. I was just in Atlanta, had a great time. Brought a stack of books, sold a stack of books. I think I had one of every book, and now I'm down to like 4.
Time to restock.
Yeah, time to restock. And that's, these are heavy. It's very heavy.
Yeah. Cool. Well,
Right.
I think that about wraps it up for Bricks and Sand.
Bricks and Sand Part 2. Next book is The Heroes of Ukraine. It is in the works. It will be available shortly. So thanks for everybody who's pre-ordered it and is patiently waiting for their books. They should be done today, but I'm afraid we're still working on it. So,
my stickers are almost done.
stickers are beautiful. Stickers are beautiful.
All right, cool. Thanks everybody for tuning in, and we'll see you next time here on Brickmania TV.